All right, we should be live on the internet. I am going to attempt to make sure that all of the pipes are running smoothly. All right, we are there. Yay. I have earned the Brood Leader badge. What is the Brood Leader badge? You've climbed the ranks of Arachnos by being both a pilot and a city official, earning you the Brood Leader accolade while logged out in either Grandville or near a black helicopter. You'll earn fuel for your traveler's jetpack at an accelerated rate. Cool. Hello, Forgotten God. Brent is here. He's just being quiet.
Just being quiet.
He's sneaky.
I'm using all my brain cells for my enhancements.
Oh, I know. Like choosing enhancements is like turning changing lanes. It's like merging.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send you an invite. All right, I invite you. I invite you to team.
I accept.
I assume you're in the Rickety war zone, just staring into the abyss that is the auction house.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. I'm
on my computer looking at a computer in the game.
That's meta. If only there was an AI that could help you dress your character.
Should ask ChatGPT how to do my enhancements. I wonder what it would tell me.
Rick actually used ChatGPT to come up with like a character bio, and like he is much more like, I don't know, tech accepting than I am. So I don't know. I feel like we're different religions on technology sometimes. Yeah. I'm coming to you. Hello, Squid. Thank you for God bless you subscribing for 19 months. You generous squid bastard. I'm going to the Rickety War Zone, and all right, I'm in a war zone. I'm here for Rickety Gold, or I don't know, gold pressed latinum or whatever, or Doge coins, whatever Rickety use for their monies. I'm going to try to figure out what kind of quests we can do. I don't know if I have anything in Rickety War Zone at the moment. I have the television. We can do. There's a quest line that gives a badge in the television that you might want to do. I haven't done it yet. I was doing it on Malphazad. Anyway, can I be of assistance right here, right now, with your dressing yourself quest?
No, I think I'm mostly self-sufficient. I mean, I will have some kind of question at some point, but
okay.
Right now,
Okay. I don't want to confuse you when I say the words. What if David Lynch directed Daredevil? But I'm going to say them. You see that's spooling up your brain to say, what if David Lynch directed Daredevil?
Right. Well, I'd watch that movie for sure.
Yeah.
Have a lot more weird dancing in it.
I watched Blue Velvet, and I want to talk about Blue Velvet, but I need you to cease your dressing yourself in order to do that.
Yeah, I've got 2 more powers squared away here. I'm still not entirely sure what to do with my Titan weapons.
Okay.
Like what's good and what's not. I really don't know.
They're all targeted. Are they all targeted AOEs? They're melee.
I tried to mute myself before I started hacking into the microphone.
Achievement unlocked. Die on microphone recording. There you go.
I was only partially successful, but
okay, it's fine.
Anyway, what was the question?
So, your Titan weapon, are they targeted AOEs?
I've got a couple of cone attacks.
Oh, okay. What is it? Let's see. What is? I've got a cone. That is
melee cone. Everything else is just single target.
Melee AOE damage.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, there's Armageddon, which is a purple. That is an option.
Well, I like the name.
Yeah, Armageddon. That is going to be more expensive. There might be. I think there's like one of the winter sets.
Oh yeah, there are those.
Which might be easy. Let's see. Enhancements, event enhancements, melee AOE, avalanche. And then this, you would be able to get a superior version of it. But not the. There's a universal damage, overwhelming force. When you use a catalyst on this, it does not generate a superior version. I don't know why.
Which one? What?
The universal damage.
Oh, okay.
There's a universal damage one, and I have it slotted in a power because I like the chance to knock down. But if you catalyze them, it does not make a superior version. Okay. So I am going to go get a mission from the TV in Granville, and I will do that while you are making your purchases in the, I don't know, Rickety Warzone self-checkout.
Yeah.
All right. All right, here we go. I go to Granville. At least I thought I did. There we go. Did I just go? I just went right back to the Rickety Warzone because I was on autopilot. I'm in a loop. Granville me. Gville. Granville. There we go. Okay. How is my inventory? Do I have inventory management issues? Not at this time. What is my salvage looking like? You're okay. I'm okay. Contact. I need to talk to the TV. TV. There you are. Here we are. Whee! Okay. So, I am on a Tubi binge watching because the month is getting ready to change. And I've got, I think, like 30 movies in my Tubi queue. They're going to go away in like 7 days. So I'm trying. So I've just been watching a ton of movies. And one of which that I watched is Blue Velvet, which I think is the very first time that I've ever watched Blue Velvet. There are a number of people online that I follow that absolutely love David Lynch. And I do not. He's growing on me.
Yeah, he'll do that.
I find that I think I watched an advanced David Lynch movie before I was ready. Because I watched Mulholland Drive a few years back. And your laugh says it all.
Yeah.
So I
challenge you to explain that movie. It's the only thing more difficult. Well, yeah, the only thing harder than that might be Lost Highway, and then that's not counting Inland Empire, which Inland Empire is a whole other.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's a whole other level. That was that movie he basically self-financed and self-shot and just by hook and by crook did whatever he could.
Huh.
And got Laura Dern to follow him on that mad journey. And I can barely tell you what's happening in Lost Highway.
Lost Highway, is that the one with Bill Pullman in it?
Yeah, Bill Pullman.
And Beretta?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I don't.
And I'm blanking on his name, but
I don't know. He's Beretta.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like the first, like, other than Dune, because I've read Dune, and reading the Dune novel really helped me understand the movie, which honestly I feel like the Dune, like the movie, David Lynch's Dune is easier to understand, but largely because I've read the source material.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why it's hard to understand is mostly due to like meddling. But I could be wrong, because the online entities that I follow concerning David Lynch said that they didn't understand it, but they have not read Dune. So it's kind of the inverse from my perspective.
Yeah, it does really help to be familiar,
particularly at the very end when they're fighting. You know, Sting shouts, "I will kill you."
Yeah.
I think David Lynch's Dune is the movie that it's one of the most quotable movies that I do, but it's only he is the Krizat Haderach, and I will kill you in a bad British Sting voice.
But metal diaper.
We still need to go back and watch that. But anyway,
it's wild.
You must milk this cat every day. or milk the rat. You got to milk a rat.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some weird thing where someone puts some kind of like bug or creature in a tube and squishes it, and then like
Yeah.
I don't remember if he smokes it or drinks it. I don't remember, but
He
that's
Bluto slurps up bug juice from his juice box. His juice box crusher. Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know that actor's name. He's just the Beast Raban to me.
remember.
Or
He's
Buddha.
also in Pieces. If you ever see Pieces,
Pieces.
yeah, it's one of those Italian. Well, it's the tagline for Pieces is "It's exactly what you think it is."
But I don't know what to think about it.
It's mainly about like a maniac with a chainsaw who's cutting up women like on a college campus.
Okay, all right. Well, when you explain it that way, that is exactly what I think it is.
And it's an insane movie that's very much worth seeing.
Okay.
And he's in it, and he plays kind of an early, like, red herring suspect.
Okay.
But he is very entertaining in that movie. But that's enough about Pieces. Other than that, I do recommend.
Okay. All right.
Pieces. It's not a movie to watch with grandma, but
man, he's not gonna like that one. So Blue Velvet, which I found to be the most. I feel like until near the end, which I do want to actually talk about the movie. But while I was watching it, for whatever reason, I thought to myself, like, what if David Lynch directed a comic book movie? And
an alternate universe somewhere.
Where that
happened.
Yeah, like, my rationale, or like, I guess my explaining it was, like, Dune did well, and he released his 4-hour cut of Dune, and it was a smash success, and it made all kinds of money, and so he made big budget movies, but he made weird ones. And after Tim Burton did Batman, they're like, maybe we can get David Lynch to do a movie, because I think he would do a good Batman or Daredevil, but he would pick Daredevil because of his red costume. Because David Lynch likes red.
He does.
And
the more David Lynch stuff you see, the more weird little through lines you see, and you understand the things that he likes.
Yes, that there's you speak his language.
Yeah, you start to pick up on the language. What exactly it all means can still be a total mystery, but it's very clear that he has certain ideas, and they may only mean things to him.
Yeah,
but that is part of the appeal. Like, one of the things he really, really likes is weird people in a room being weird.
Oh, like the little person dancing?
Yeah, or like there's the scene in Blue Velvet, like I mentioned, the dancing. And then similarly, like in Dune, there's a Theon Harkonnen girl sitting around in a room, and they're just being weird. They're like, squishing up a bug, milking a rat.
Or the guy who like cleaned up after the Spacing Guild tank came in.
Yeah. You'll get something like Fire Walk with Me, when there's just a weird random scene of weird dudes in a room. It technically makes more sense if you've seen all of Twin Peaks, including The Return.
Huh.
And I put a big asterisk next to it. Makes sense.
Okay. Or makes more sense?
Yeah, sure. That's as good as it gets. It makes more sense.
But like the spotlight on a character, the kind of like the musical numbers, the diners.
Yeah, his affection for like 50s Americana.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is his favorite place to eat, is it the Hard Rock Cafe or whatever, or like oh god, what's the milkshake place? What am I blanking on the name of it?
Are you having a steak and shake?
Yeah, like a Steak and Shake. Does he just love Steak and Shake?
Might be too mainstream for him.
Okay. Can't smoke in there.
Well, yeah, that's.
But you used to be able to.
Although I think he quit smoking.
Oh, he does. He has cancer, doesn't he?
I don't know. He's pretty old. And he said something recently about how, I think he does have really bad emphysema or something. He was talking about how it's difficult for him to like do movie stuff because you have to follow all these kind of COVID things.
Mm.
You know, there's just so much health stuff to be concerned about.
Yeah.
That he was talking about, if he directs something else, he might just have to do it remotely. Because he has spent a lifetime smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
To the point where his political opinions could often be aligned by which party will allow him to smoke.
He's in the same party as John Carpenter, who's going to let me smoke in public?
Yeah. Who's going to let me smoke?
So it was early on when I was watching Blue Velvet, and like the scene with the red roses and Kyle MacLachlan's dad, who has a stroke.
Or something.
Something happens. Kyle MacLachlan's dad has an event, and like hurts his neck, or I don't know if that was part of the event or whatever that went wrong. And there's just this slow like cut to the water that's coming out of the hose, and then it goes down to like the grass, and then you're eventually just in the dirt with like the sound of like bugs crawling on each other like these beetles or whatever. And it just made me think, like, is this like Daredevil's hyper, senses or something like that? It just, the more that I watched this movie, I got a thought in my head that David Lynch should have directed Daredevil. And then I just started thinking about that when I didn't know what was going on in Blue Velvet, or if I got, a little bored or whatever. So yeah. I was casting Daredevil with his cast of actors that he likes to use and so forth. And also not realizing that Blue Velvet is kind of not like a superhero movie, but it is about a do-gooder trying to do good and be nosy and kind of do vigilantism in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I found it interesting, and that was a very unintentional thing that came up because I didn't know about. I'd never seen the movie. And like, go ahead.
It's a weird movie, but it's one of his more mainstream ones.
Yeah. Which, at what point, like, baby Laura Dern, like, I don't know how old Laura Dern and, like, Kyle MacLachlan were in, I don't know how old they were in.
They were pretty young.
In 1985 or whatever, whenever this movie came out. But, like, she basically said, I don't know if, like, you're robbing the place or saving the place, something like that. And I kind of felt like that was that would fit in a superhero vigilante movie. I liked that bit of dialogue. When they weren't whisper talking and I could tell what was being said, which, when you watch movies, do you have like instances of like, why are the sound effects so goddamn loud, or why is the music so goddamn loud, but I can't hear the talking?
Oh yeah, it's because everything in the streaming era has been like, I don't know, it's been leveled for shit or mastered for shit.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't know entirely exactly why, but there's definitely a sound problem
Okay.
in the way things are now. Some things will be way too loud, like especially like sound effects
Or
and
music.
stuff. And dialogue will be way too quiet.
Yeah. Which it happened repeatedly with when Kyle MacLachlan and Laura Dern were talking.
Mm.
But like I never had a problem hearing Dennis Hopper. And Jess actually watched some of this with me, and she's like, Jesus Christ, like, we don't have a problem hearing, you know, Dennis Hopper call everybody fuck faces or whatever.
Heineken, fuck that. Pack blue ribbon.
He had a good time.
He did. Yeah. It's a good role for him.
Did
He,
when like growing up, I always thought that like Dennis Hopper was like a real actor, like not to like besmirch his name, pour some Pabst Blue Ribbon out for him, but like I feel like he's in a lot of silly ass movies.
oh yeah.
And I don't know,
Yeah.
like I
It's in the Super Mario Brothers movie
yeah.
where he plays not Donald Trump.
I never made that connection. Is that actually who he was playing? Not Donald Trump, but he does.
100%.
Oh motherfucker! Oh god, really? Wow, I never made
100%.
that. Okay.
He's playing Bowser, alternate universe, Donald Trump, but actually just current universe Donald Trump. Yeah.
That was right there, and
100%.
that was right there in front of my face, and I never made that connection. Like that is.
Yeah. It was one of the more recent times when I watched it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I see what you're doing.
Okay.
It's like in Back to the Future 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That sort of thing. And it's kind of that Trump has been a piece of shit for so long that people have been making jokes about it
Okay.
literally for decades, and yet here we are. But
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. But like the entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, Kyle MacLachlan is Matt Murdock. Like just like I got
that's
like
something he really could have done.
he really could have.
He really could have done that.
Like he even looks a little bit like what is his name? The current Daredevil, is it Charlie something from the Netflix series? And
Oh yeah, yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
But anyway, like it just I just could not think about that. That, and I had like Brad Dourif playing Bullseye.
I watch Brad Dourif in anything.
And yeah,
Because a worker.
yeah, either that or like the Owl. But then I put like Jack Nance as the Owl. Because he always had like rather small parts.
Yeah.
In David Lynch movies, and
Yeah, he'd always find a way to put him in there.
yeah. Did they like go to high school together or something? Is that like a
Something like that. Like they knew each other
forever?
way back. And he worked on Eraserhead with him for
Yeah.
I don't know, like the 5 years or 10 years or however long it took to actually finish that movie.
And he kept that hair.
And he kept that hair, from what I understand.
Oh wow, that's dedication.
It's dedication, and that's why he brings him along with him.
And I'm blanking on like what he died of. Didn't he like get in a fight and then like pass away in his sleep or something like that? Kind of like in a Bob Saget kind of way.
No, I really don't know.
Okay, because I hit the Wikipedia on him once. Because
Yeah, it was a subdermal hematoma.
okay,
Oh yeah, he got in a brawl outside Winchell's Donuts.
I don't.
And he went home complaining of a headache.
mm,
He died the following morning from a subdermal hematoma.
okay. Who gets in a fight with Jack Nance? I mean, really.
Outside of Winchell's Donuts.
I don't even know what kind of is that like a Midwestern thing?
It's in L.A.
Oh, okay, all right,
Place. Yeah.
okay. And then I had the guy who played the Beast Raban playing Kingpin. Just have him shave his head and he's Kingpin.
Yeah. I mean, I'd watch that 100%.
Yeah, and the dude, I don't know his name. He's in Twin Peaks, and he's also in The People Under the Stairs. He played.
Oh yeah.
He played Stilgar.
Yeah.
That guy.
I can only think of his character in Twin Peaks, but
Okay.
yeah.
Daredevil has some real D-list villains.
Everett McGill. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but he has a distinct name. I just could not think of it.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, but I had him playing a deep cut, the gladiator.
Oh yeah.
He is a mentally ill person who thinks he's like a Roman gladiator, and yeah, just because you got to put somebody, he is definitely a somebody that's going to show up in that movie if David Lynch is directing it.
Yeah.
And him do like The People Under the Stairs is my favorite Wes Craven movie, and I really recommend it. And
I haven't seen it in an age.
oh my god, I don't know if it's still on Tubi, but I did watch it on Tubi. It was fun. That's a fun movie, where he plays landlord Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's getting remade.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we talked about
Peele's
that.
producing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
which I'm hopeful about that. I still need to watch the Candyman that he had a hand in.
Oh yeah. I liked it.
Okay, which yeah.
Tries to correct some of the issues that the original had, which is
Okay,
a good movie, but it has some issues.
it has some issues. It
They're
does.
well documented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Person who know David Lynch better than I do. And I guess I'm going to say like spoiler for Blue Velvet, but
It's been out for so long.
it's like a 40-year-old movie. So
Yeah.
and honestly, like, I find that when I listen to people talk about David Lynch, that actually makes me want to watch the movies, because then I kind of at least get somebody's understanding of the movie. I feel like I should have done that before I watched Mulholland Drive. But that's just
maybe.
me. But like, should we trust the ending of Blue Velvet?
Oh, I mean, that's a good question.
Because it's kind of too good to be true.
Yeah, because it's like David Lynch really does like to deal with ambiguity and a certain amount of unreliability. but he also does have a certain kind of weird optimism
Okay.
to him, and that I think he does like happy endings. But only under like particular circumstances.
Okay.
It's hard to suss out.
Because, like, watching Mulholland Drive made me think that, like, the ending for Blue Velvet was proto that. And, like, the thing with where he finds the ear at the beginning of the movie and finds the surreal crime scene at the end of the movie, which led me to believe that, you know, he's seeing the crime scene at the end of the movie for the crime that he saw at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And that there's a, you know, some sort of like time loop or something like that. And also when Kyle MacLachlan is in like the lawn chair and there's the close up on his ear, and then, you know, Dad's gonna be all right, and, you know, the singer gets to see her kid, and, like, you know, everything's fine, and they end up together. It just made me think, oh, he dead.
Yeah, because there is always that kind of a weird, sinister undercurrent
Yes.
to a lot of things that he'll do.
Like, it actually, like thinking back, it made me think, like, this is a step away from, like, the creepy happiness of the Black Hole Sun video. like the barbecue scene in Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's going to start smiling so hard that their face is going to contort in an inhuman fashion.
Yeah. Everyone's so happy. Or
Yeah.
are they? No.
Yeah. And, like, like, some interpretation that I've heard about David Lynch is, like, he likes doubles
Oh, yeah.
and twins and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Kyle MacLachlan and Dennis Hopper are, like, dressed the same. They're both wearing, like, black suits, except for, like, Dennis Hopper's got, like, his, like, black leather jacket or whatever. And, like, it's like, I feel like you could I feel like you can read the movie a couple of different ways, like, easily, and, like, walk away, you know, having different experiences. I feel like in some ways I feel like I've got out of game knowledge, like, from the other movies and other, like, properties that David Lynch has done. Like, I shouldn't trust any of the narration, so to speak.
Yeah.
And have you put your pants on yet? Where you at?
All right. I think I'm ready. I'm ready enough for now. Okay.
I'm making Dr. Eon do his homework.
But I got a couple things done.
Okay, that's good.
It's an ongoing project.
All right, I gotta capture a guy. Oh, God. I'm a stalker and I'm capturing a motherfucker. Oh, that's horrible. Come on. Come on, guy who's kind of got David Lynch hair. Or Wayne Static. We are going over there. Okay. Come on. Oh, man. So when will I be ready for Mulholland Drive?
You know, I don't know if you could really go wrong with just watching his movies in order.
Okay.
In like the order he made them.
Maybe I should do that.
I mean, yeah, I really think that works. Because like I said, he'll continue to do lots of similar kinds of things and use similar kind of images. But everything just kind of gets more David Lynch as he goes.
Because I did watch I watched all of the original series Twin Peaks. And
The first 2 seasons, I guess, not the Return, right?
I did not watch The Return.
Okay. I really recommend The Return. I like The Return a lot.
I know what happens. A YouTuber I follow, Maggie May Fish, did her take on old Twin Peaks versus new Twin Peaks, and I do find it fascinating, like the use of doubles in The Return, and the like using that as like current like prestige television, like your Tony Sopranos, your Walter Whites, your that kind of stuff. Your troubled, dark male character dissection.
Yeah. Yeah, he does a lot of interesting things in The Return, especially within that lens of like legacy television and like bringing things back. Like, can you really bring things back? And in a lot of ways, he doesn't. Does and doesn't.
I have a deep cut question for Twin Peaks. But did they ever give any explanation what happened with the bomb?
Oh, no.
That's great.
One of the big.
That's great.
One of the big things about season 2 is that neither David Lynch nor Mark Frost were very involved with the show.
And it just
they were doing other things.
It basically just became a soap opera at that point, right?
Yeah, and kind of became progressively crazier.
Yeah.
Like if you try and explain to people what some of the storylines are, they're insane. Like, was it Ben Horn deciding that he's Robert E. Lee, and they have to do a Civil War reenactment?
Oh, that
like break him out of his madness.
I forgot about that. So much. I kind of want to go back and watch, but
there's and like Josie turning into a handle on a drawer. I mean that never comes back up. It's the thing that happened.
Was that the was she Asian or indigenous? Like the.
Yeah.
I can't think of the actress.
And again, I'm blanking on everybody's name today.
Okay, yeah, but I completely forgot about that. But I can remember the little guitar moment with the 2 teenage backup singers in in the living room,
Oh yeah, that's
just doing their just jamming
very
teenage.
special moment. Yeah, James singing his little song.
Yeah, or
So before he runs off and has his own spin-off show for a brief period where he gets involved with a married woman and there's some kind of crazy murder plot. And it has nothing to do with the rest of the show.
what was this Lost before it was Lost?
It was.
It really was, and I've never.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people were crazy about the show, crazy about the mystery, who killed Laura Palmer. People were talking about it. It was parodied. Yeah, and of course the funny part is that David Lynch really had no intention of ever revealing who killed her, because to him it wasn't the point. But the network eventually puts really hard on you have to let people know, or interest will run out. And again, for Lost parallels, you've got the same network kind of pulling the same stuff.
Oh shit, you're right.
With the show. Yeah.
All this has happened before, all this is going to happen again.
Even to the point of running some of the same kinds of promos that are like, this week, everything revealed, right?
Oh shit.
Like the infamous "This week, the secret of Jack's tattoos." And what was the secret? They don't fucking matter. None of that fucking mattered. But ABC was,
You could be I cannot remember that part of either show. You could be talking about either one or both, as far as I know.
Yeah. It's just kind of fascinating. Yeah, same network, and they kind of treated the shows in sort of the same way. And they really pressured them to reveal who killed her.
Okay.
And finally, of course, they did.
I think and that was like in the first 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, it was fairly early.
I thought that was wonderful, like particularly the way they resolved that.
Oh yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah. And I think that is my favorite bit of any of his work, particularly what is his name? Ray Wise? Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
And I know they expand on that with like Fire Walk With Me, but I've not seen that because fuck, I can't find out where it's streamed. It's Fire Walk With Me is like one of those properties that you just can't fucking find it anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's a pain in the ass. It's just,
there are too many things that are like that.
Yeah. I mean, you would think all of Twin Peaks should be on one of the major streaming services or something, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, you would think.
I guess I'm just gonna have to find it online somewhere in a dark alley.
Yeah.
So I can see David Bowie just disappear out of the movie for some reason.
Yep. He appears just as mysteriously and then disappears and says very cryptic things that are made clearer in The Return, but again with a big asterisk.
Did I just teleport?
I'm not going to talk about Judy.
Did
Judy?
Oh, Wolverine origin story. That is I think that is a little bit, that's in the same ballpark, like trying to like reveal something in a comic book but never revealing it. Like the old Wolverine Weapon X brain farts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you dying, Larry.
Well, I just got held and just pulverized. I got held, my endurance got drained. And I'm sitting there, if I can act, I'll be fine, but I just couldn't do anything.
Always hit the sapper.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
The sapper takes your blue juice.
No, he took all my blue juice.
You know what? You get lightning bolt. Don't worry, I'm a doctor. God, Optimus is just taking all the hits. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna get you up. Like, I'm just having like a wave of all the just weird shit in Twin Peaks. I don't need this.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Season 2 has a lot of weird things, but
the thing with the bomb, that was
yeah, the bomb.
There's a bomb in the bank, right?
Yeah.
There's a bomb in the bank.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the most. There's a bomb on the pizza, but in actual television. Oh God.
Then Audrey Horne gets blown up, and we don't see her again until the return.
So she didn't get blown up?
Well, unknown.
Unknown. Okay.
Because when she shows up in the return, it is very. It's unclear what. It's unclear where she is. Possibly even who she is.
Okay. God, David Lynch.
It is very strange.
I also have another question. Is Bob Randall Flagg?
I mean, again, I was going to say the return makes some stuff a little bit clearer, but again, does it?
But like I guess like in terms, Stephen King was very, very popular, and when I went back and watched Frank Darabont's Blob movie, there is a teenage scamp character who is named Flag, and he looks like he looks like Randall Flagg from The Stand before any adaptive media existed for The Stand. Because he just looks like, Randall Flagg from the book. So, and I realized, like, the later, like, probably by the time Bob actually showed up in the story, the original creators fucked off to do other things. So I'm just wondering if whoever was writing the show with regards to, cosmic entity Bob, making him look like, a denim clad hooligan with a mullet.
Interestingly, probably what will clarify that is how he got cast.
Okay.
Because he was just like a worker on set.
Okay.
And
really?
I forget exactly. I think one of the stories is that, like, David Lynch saw while they were shooting a scene, like, his reflection was caught in a picture or something in the scene, and it wasn't intentional, but David Lynch liked it.
Okay.
And then just kind of from that point, like, I think there was even some point when he kind of looks at him and is like, hey, do you want to be in this show? And the guy's like, sure. And then that was it. And then he was Bob.
Okay.
And from what I understand, that was just how he looked.
Okay, so he just looked... Okay,
he got, like, spontaneously cast.
Okay, I do...
By the show creator.
I guess I have forgotten what the 70s and 80s were like. In that people liked wearing denim.
Yeah, I think it was just that guy's look. Tozo, he showed up and something about him resonated
Okay.
with David Lynch, and he was like, that's my guy. But, Lynch is pretty famously a guy who, like, doesn't really audition actors. Like, he would cast people based entirely off their headshots.
Okay.
Or just, like, meeting with them, but not having them read anything. So, he's definitely the kind of guy who just kind of goes with his feeling on stuff like that, which is very interesting.
Well, this auto turret is the toughest thing I've ever fought. There we go. Not no more, it ain't.
This engineer hiding over here.
Are you feeling tougher?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. I guess we gotta kill every person here.
And you. Well, here's someone. Just walking around, a mercenary.
Oh, they can see me.
Not anymore.
Boo. Game recognizes game.
Running around these labyrinthine, procedurally generated environments. As a mercenary.
Have you ever seen?
Back down here first.
I'm blanking. There was something else there because I've watched a bunch of shit in the last few days. Like I watched Dagon again. Stuart Gordon's Dagon.
Oh, something I meant to rewatch.
It's on Tubi for the next 7 days. So
We'll get on it.
I'm watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I've got like an hour left on it,
Okay.
which I'm fucking enjoying that.
I like that movie. Exactly what it says it is.
Yes. Is there a?
It's legitimately pretty clever.
It's clever. I like the both those movies have some good creature stuff.
Yeah, Killer Clowns. I think that was the Chiodo brothers, the same people who did Critters, I think.
Oh my god, when I was watching it, I was like, is this just Critters with clowns?
It's kind of like your brain's picking up on the visual.
But it was
Your brain recognizes it.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember that the people who like wrote and directed and produced it all had the same last name, and that it was
Zapper.
You dated a girl your senior year whose favorite movie was Killer Clowns. Oh god. That's
Good for her.
Did they
If I asked someone their favorite movie, I would never expect them to say Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But I would be pretty pleasantly surprised if they did.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, good on you.
Did they actually ever turn that into that video game that they were trying to do?
Oh yeah, it's out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those asymmetrical multiplayer games where some people play clowns and try to kill the hapless survivors.
Do you get to play as Christopher Titus?
I don't know.
You're either Killer Clown or a young Christopher Titus. his special
maybe.
ability is podcast.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forget that he's in that every single time, and then I see like a 20-year-old Christopher Titus.
And it's like, oh yeah.
And that one guy who was in Animal House, Vernon something, John Vernon, James Vernon,
John Vernon, yeah, John Vernon.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh God, where did you go? Did you go up?
I went up the elevator.
Oh God, which one was it?
Down or let me go back through and see.
Is it this one?
It was the one closest to where we were.
Yeah, there you are. Okay. Oh God. Like, I didn't realize that movie had like a cult classic status. Is there a sapper? There is no sapper.
Didn't see one. Yeah, it does. You know, and I think it deserves it.
Yeah. There's definitely like talent in that movie, and even like I dig the music, like the sound effects or like the little like theme song that the clowns have.
Yeah.
And like rewatching it, I was like, this would be like, do they play this music when a clown is about to get you or something? Like in the video game, like that would just be a clever way to like
probably
do that. They need to do that in an update and send
it wouldn't
a check.
Surprise me if they did.
Send me a check, game developer.
Yeah. Give me money.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, I loved Big Trouble in Little China as a kid. That was actually one of my favorite movies.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah. Me and Jess watched it a few years back, and she really liked it. This is the first time she ever had watched it, and I feel like it actually holds up.
Oh yeah.
And
I think so.
Yeah. I think John Carpenter might be the first director that I was like, I like his movies. Like in terms of like,
Got a lot of hard hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because growing up between like Big Trouble, The Thing, and They Live, good stuff.
Yeah. Even some of his less esteemed stuff. Although I think In the Mouth of Madness has had a little bit of a reevaluation, but for the longest time it was kind of lumped into his 90s stuff, which is considered not as good.
Yeah, and
mainly because of Ghosts of Mars, but
that is a bad movie.
Which is a bad movie.
Oh, so you have seen that movie?
Not recently, but
it is a bad movie.
It's bad.
I don't see how somebody can use that level of like scene transition wiping. Like it's not Phantom Menace level, but like it's not even, they weren't wipes, they're like they're fades.
Yeah, and I don't really know what he was going for. I don't know. It's just such a weird misstep for a guy who usually didn't misstep.
Yeah, it was.
But whatever.
I think that I have almost seen all of his movies. I think. Memoirs of Invisible Man.
Oh yeah, that's one I haven't seen.
I saw it as a kid, but I have not seen it as an adult, and it's on Tubi for another week, so maybe that'll be.
I also haven't seen Starman in an age.
I watched that a few months back. It's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
That was a movie that I watched a lot as a kid. Jeff Bridges is good in it.
Have you seen Prince of Darkness?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually like Prince of Darkness quite a bit.
I've been meaning to watch that again.
I think we've talked about it.
Yeah, we have talked about it. Yeah.
It's kind of his love letter to Dario Argento in some ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get into, my Italian horror phase until after I had seen that, and then it's like, oh, this is an Italian horror movie, like done by by John Carpenter. So
yeah.
Are there just some people like walking around here that we need to off?
Trying to look inconspicuous.
All right, where are we?
I'm gonna go down.
There's some darkness here. I had never, I don't know if I'd ever watched it, but I finished Village of the Damned. It's fine.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time either. That's kind of what I remember.
It was sad seeing like Christopher Reeve alive. Like one of the only movies I can think of where he didn't play Superman. And a rare Mark Hamill on-screen performance. Like somebody, Kirstie Alley, she's in it, and she just passed away not too long ago.
Oh, that's right.
Playing John Carpenter's insert smoking character, which I thought was kind of interesting. She plays a government like doctor type, and she's just constantly smoking.
Okay.
And honestly, I feel like that was a little bit of John Carpenter's early 90s. I feel like there's a little bit of a contrarianism having a woman who's like a prenatal doctor consultant type for like, a town full of pregnant women. Particularly in the early 90s when there was really that big push for please, for the love of God, don't smoke while pregnant.
Yeah. When your anti-smoking stuff really starts to kick in.
Yes. Yeah. There's going to be like some asshole in goggles in a corner.
Yeah.
Usually the game like flags them.
True.
They must be up somewhere else. Or that's my bet. Unless there's maybe a patrol that's just wandering around. Some of those mercenary Knives of Artemis ladies. Game. Oh God, look at this phone.
Oh, there's some darkness on the first floor.
Okay. Hit the darkness with your axe.
Will do.
Oh, this is up. I've gone up again. All right. I don't know how elevators work. more video gaming and conversation on hard mode.
No, here's some guys.
Okay.
Start punching.
I can tell you about a movie that made me mad.
Well, it's always fun.
Yeah, mad movie reviewing is always fun. How do I put this? I feel like that no one... I feel like it's stupid getting mad at like a trauma movie. And
Oh, that was them. All right.
but like, are you familiar with a movie called 2001 Maniacs?
Yeah, but I've never seen it.
Okay, there's an original like 1970 movie, which is on Tubi, and then there is a remake that came out like in, oh shit, I just jumped off a building. I think it's a trauma movie. I think, and Robert Englund's in it, and I watched that one, and it made me angry.
Oh yeah, I can almost see like the box art for that.
Yeah,
Like I've seen it around on streaming sites, or
maybe
it's an ancient Blockbuster memory. I don't know.
It came out like in the early 2000s. Like I want to say it's like I want to say it was like 2012 or something like that. I did not agree with the politics of the movie. It's one of those things. Where do I even start? It's like I realize it's a horror movie. I'm just gonna preface. I realize that it is a horror movie, and I think it might. If it's not trauma, it's like trauma adjacent. And like, I appreciate a movie that, you know, a low budget movie like Slumber Party Massacre or Black Christmas, or I'm trying to think of some other things that like have interesting fucking Death Race. Like Death Race 2000 has some interesting things to say. Or, you know, on the John Carpenter topic, Dark Star. Like there's some really interesting things in that. Or like Return of the Living Dead, or Romero movies. Like, so, you know, I don't want it to be like, you know, it's a horror movie, you know, shut the fuck up or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear that. But like, the primary crime of the Confederacy was not cousin fucking. And the movie made it out that it was cousin fucking.
Well, that's an interesting bit of revisionism.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one before.
Okay. Yeah. So for anybody who hears this in the future, when you make a movie, you can put anything in it. And, you know, you're doing a sci-fi movie, you got a budget, you have a whole lot more like wiggle room to say something in like a cool and interesting way.
Yeah.
And when you have an opportunity to make a ghost story, most of the time, like, you know, your ghost story, or, you know, Revenant story, or whatever, like there's a crime, and, you know, hey, you want to tie it to a real world event like the American Civil War, and then focusing purely on Sherman's march, you're already showing your hand, in my opinion.
Mm.
And not mentioning like the racial component with regards to not just the South but the Confederacy. That's another card that you're showing. That's about 3 or 4 cards, honestly.
Yeah.
And it spells out lost cause revisionism.
Yeah.
So
Race
yeah.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Yeah. It's like the problem with the Confederacy is they just do some light early 2000s racialized humor. Robert Englund was good. He was having a good time.
He always has a good time.
Yeah,
He's a guy who's glad to work.
Yeah. There's a documentary about him on Tubi that was really, really good. But yeah, it's like when, like I told Jess that I feel like this movie was simultaneously easy on the Confederacy, but also like harsh, in the sense that where it's like, it's easy because they did not mention slavery whatsoever, and any people in the town that were black were just part of the town. And you know, I feel like we were getting into what, Uncle Ruckus territory.
Yeah.
Song of the South. Don't get mad at me, Disney. I feel like there's going to be like a Twitch and YouTube. You spoke Song of the South. Your stream's going to get put in a vault.
You know, send Pinkertons after you.
Yes, they're going to send Pinkertons. Oh God. But then it's like, oh, people from the South, they're just backward hicks who, you know, fuck their cousins.
Mm.
So it's their backwards. And it's like, hey, what are they backwards about? Let's suss that out. Is it because they just talk a little slower and I do declare just some southern hospitality around here? You know, that kind of stuff.
Or it's kind of, it's like casual ridicule.
Yeah.
But being very pointed about not saying anything.
Not saying anything. It didn't say anything.
Yeah.
There was no substance. It was just like, haha, you all talk funny. Without actually saying that, it's just mostly about the cousin fucking. Also, it has that like Tromaville kind of skis. Like, let's just have two blonde cousins just making out constantly.
Yeah, I see Eli Roth was a producer.
Yeah, I don't.
On it. I probably some of it.
I've seen Green Hill.
I have not, because I have seen Cannibal Holocaust. The world already has one.
Yeah, I think me and Eli Roth would immediately get in an argument if we just had a casual conversation.
Yeah, like I respect how much the guy knows about horror, and he legitimately does love it. Like, he really does. When he talks about it, it's like, okay, he knows his stuff, and he really does legitimately like. And he does have a great love for like sleaze and exploitation and that kind of stuff. But
is it just because it gives him a boner?
I mean, maybe.
But you can multiple reasons.
But I don't jive with any of his movies.
I don't think I've ever seen one of his movies. I don't think. Because I've not seen Cabin Fever. I've not seen any of the Hostel movies. I mean, the Thanksgiving trailer out of, like, Planet Terror, Grindhouse. I think that's the only thing. No, wait a minute. I did. I saw Green Hell. I've seen more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there we go. Which, I feel like I don't need to see Cannibal Holocaust then.
Cannibal Holocaust is probably a better movie, having not seen Green Hell. I'm just going to say that unseen.
I was not in... It's one of those things where there are people that I have listened to that I respect their opinions on movies. But I feel like the term racism gets thrown out, but sometimes there's this well, if you call something racist, like, you overuse it, and then, like, apparently the potency gets used up or something. Like, there's only so many charges on calling somebody racist or using the term racist or something like that. And then, like, a movie can peddle in ideas that are racist. The portrayal can be, like, racist regardless of intent. I think that's something that, like, throws some people, because it's like, oh, Jimmy doesn't have a racist bone in his body. He just happens to always vote for Republicans, and this movie that he made depicts, you know, tribes people as, you know, cannibals that only eat white women. I mean,
yeah.
So it's... And, you know, making a movie because there's a history of these movies, it's like, I think both things, I think you can have a love for a type of movie, but also acknowledge, hey, there are really problematic aspects of like the origins of that type of movie.
Yeah.
Like Alan Moore really likes H.P. Lovecraft, and he has written some very interesting H.P. Lovecraft stories, and I can't find where I'm going. All right, where I'm going, but, like, within, what is it called, Neonomicon, there's some understanding of, like, motherfucker was, like, racist to the point of absurdity, like, to the point where it's like, this should be in the DSM, like.
Yeah, it's like if you're only engaging with something at the level of, like, fandom, then in a way you're not really engaging with it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what criticism is.
Yeah, just, like, criticize the things you like.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't mean hating on it. It often means liking something more completely.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you can better articulate why you like a thing if you can also, you know, explain the things that don't work about it, or the things that are wrong, or the things that are dated. You know.
It's like
it's just a more complete understanding of things.
It's like, I think it's fair to say that Kitty Pryde dropping N-bombs cuts against the message a little bit, Chris Claremont. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's like, I understand what you were going for, but you shouldn't have.
Yeah. But also at the same time, that is that is very much a different time period.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about engaging with things.
Language changes.
Yeah.
He just spit purple goo on me.
Unappreciated. Galaxy Archon. Wasn't he something?
Is he from the Galaxy dimension?
Hate those guys. So full of themselves.
Oh, I forgot they could do that. He just rezzed.
Oh, well, fuck him.
Yeah.
Should pull a vampire real quick.
Oh God, you saying vampire just triggered something I wanted to ask you. Have you seen Blood for Dracula and or Flesh for Frankenstein?
No.
Dear God, watch them.
Okay.
They're like Andy Warhol productions.
Oh. Okay.
They are like...
I know of them.
Well, this fucker got back up.
You...
Particularly Blood for Dracula. I think Udo Kier is in both of them, but he plays Dracula in Blood for Dracula. And
You love that guy.
I
do like to see Udo Kier.
Young beautiful Udo Kier, who I think it's an interesting take on Dracula. Is like I think commentary on like your, I don't know, inbred aristocrat.
Yeah.
And
all right.
And I think Vampire Masquerade, the Masquerade, like swiped something from that movie about like, what was it, like a drawback in the Masquerade where they could like you could only feed from certain kinds of blood. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, feeding restriction. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only vampire movie where it is specifically like spelled out that he can only have the blood of virgins.
Okay.
And yes, the entire time he is just like, I can't find any virgins. It is awesome. It is awesome.
Good.
So yes. Like, just watch the trailer. Like, this motherfucker.
Fuck me. I keep forgetting. You are not allowed to get up.
There's a lot of accents in these movies where you'll have, like, Udo Kier and, like, there's some dude who plays, like, a farmhand in one of the movies, and he's, like, just like from Boston or like the Bronx or something, and I don't even know if he's necessarily American in the movie because it's not set in the States, but it's anyway. It's
yeah, that's the accent he brought with him, and he was going to use it.
Yeah, it's like that's why he got the part. I think I watched some of Blood of Dracula with Jess, I think. Good old Udo Kier. He has played a vampire, I think, because he was in Blade.
Yeah.
He was in that horrible knockoff Modern Vampires, which was like a Blade knockoff, and he played Dracula. And He was in some other like Dracula vampire movie where he was dubbed, like in the 70s that I watched. I guess until people fully appreciated Udo Kier's accent, like Arnold. Like when Arnold was dubbed in Hercules in New York or whatever that was.
Yeah, Hercules in New York. Yeah. Hello, I am Hercules.
I am Hercules.
Coming out of Arnold.
Yeah. People were not ready for, I'm coming all the time.
No, they were not. Was the world ever ready?
Oh, God.
Success.
Whiff. Whiff. You totally hit him. I saw the sword go through him. Do all these nerds just get back up? I see why you hate these guys.
Yeah, they're so annoying. I think they're so great.
Is it because they get up and run away and you can't collect their skulls?
Yeah, exactly. You think you've got a skull, but nope. Then they just lie there and twerk.
All right, I think we're done here.
We win.
We win. I have to call the television. Video killed the radio. This television is telling me to do bad things. The TV made me do it. That's like a trope that doesn't get thrown around anymore.
No, it's true. It finally just got too worn out.
Oh, God. I'm too fast. There we go. It's one of those casual things like too much television will rot your brain, that kind of stuff. Like just
Yeah.
that violence did not occur prior to the invention of television. Can you see me? No, you can't.
This is one of those things that you look back at the kinds of content that people were concerned about back in the day as like being too violent or too sexual or whatever, and you know, and you look at it today and it's like the tamest shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was saying that with God, they had congressional hearings about fucking Mortal Kombat.
Oh God.
And you go back and you look at Mortal Kombat today and it's like, really? This is what you were panicked about? Then fucking Night Trap.
Yeah, I can't. I love hearing, you know, our senators and congressmen talk about like our children. What are we going to do about our children? You know, people who have voted to bomb children in other countries.
Yeah. people with no interest in making sure children have access to health care and things that, you need.
Yeah.
Nobody comes into this world willingly. Seems really kind of weird to punish them for it, but fuck do I know. But you have to make sure they don't watch bad things on the TV that make them evil. That make them juvenile delinquents.
What do you mean, propaganda?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There was just a brief thing about Judge Dredd, because I don't want to get too far into it. But there's this whole story arc that Matt Wagner did called America. And a big part of it is about these pro-democracy movements that exist in Mega City 1. And how they're doing demonstrations and things about they want to end the judge system and bring back democracy. And a big part of it is all of the horrible things that the judges do.
Okay.
To stop them. Like all kinds of just dirty tricks and outright violence. And, and from what I understand, it came from Matt Wagner receiving a letter from a kid, I don't know how old, but basically saying that, like, Judge Dredd was their favorite hero.
Ooh.
And he was kind of like, oh, I've made a mistake. My messaging has gotten mixed up somewhere. So he did this whole story arc. It's basically just him saying judges are fascists.
Okay.
And they act like fascists. It's like, please don't be confused.
And that's okay. That is something that that
check down this way.
Like is Judge Dredd propaganda? Like, is RoboCop propaganda? Because when I'm watching RoboCop as, like, 8-year-old me, 10-year-old me, like, I'm not sure when I went through my RoboCop phase, in terms of, like, when I was most watching it or whatever, and it's like, I thought it was a cool movie. I'm not picking up on the public-private partnership between corporations and the product that is RoboCop. Or,
a human being turned into literal property.
yes. Or the anti-worker / anti-union, even though it is the cop union,
which that is one of the weird things about RoboCop, and I was thinking this while playing through the video game, because they really do kind of nail the feel and, like, the tone, and also kind of the bizarre politics of RoboCop.
Yeah.
Which it is. I don't know if I go so far to call it anti-capitalist. It's definitely anti-consumerist and doesn't have really a glowing view of corporations. And like you said, the public-private partnership.
Yes.
It definitely doesn't think that's a good thing.
The Smiler brand of politics.
Yes. But at the same time, it totally does treat police officers like workers.
Huh.
That they're just embattled workers who are, trying to do the best they can to maintain law and order. And they're presented kind of like as equally victims of, like, corporate meddling.
Which, I mean, in that world, they are.
Yeah.
But in the real world, they're the top gang.
Yeah.
They're a gang.
Not workers.
Yeah, they're
not workers.
They are maintaining the systems.
Yeah.
For wages, yes, but
yeah. They are the enforcers of the system.
Yes. So and I didn't know about like the letter to the creator of Judge Dredd.
That's something I read about just recently, actually.
Okay.
That's why I was looking about that America storyline, because it definitely has a different kind of feel, or more of an overt kind of view. You are supposed to think that what the judges are doing is maybe not so good.
Yeah. Because
I'm talking about how bad it is for people to have a voice in the government.
And see, they don't the only like Judge Dredd material that I have consumed have been the two movies. I know a little bit of like what you told me about Judge Dredd and like what I picked up from people who talk about it online. I Am the Law isn't very subtle. Yeah, but that is true. Point taken, Squid. But like having it to where like the way that I read like the Carl Urban one was, things have gotten so bad that this is the kind of cop that this world needs. Which is basically the same justification for like Batman.
Yeah.
Like Gotham is so bad that Gotham needs Batman.
And similarly RoboCop.
That it's got
it's a crap sack world where it's not so much that like, oh, this is the result of poverty and all these other things, and it's more like a problem of ontological evil.
Yes.
Right? These are criminals who do crime because they love crime.
Yeah, they commit crimes why they're giggling, laughing maniacally.
They could get normal jobs and be normal people, but they don't want to. They just love evil too much.
Yeah, they're evildoers in a Tromaville movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Avenger.
Yeah, like
running over kids for point. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like another way of saying that is like the news harping on the crime narrative. That it's like we only can add more numbers to the budget.
Yeah. The crime is fundamentally a moral problem.
Is it weird that I prefer the vigilante in this case rather than the government-sanctioned authoritarianism? I get it because I like Batman, but
yeah. Yeah, I think it's an understandable point of view.
It is because, like, I mean, depending on who's writing the Batman comic, there's different levels of like, well, Jim Gordon is the only good cop. Or, I don't know, did Barbara Gordon ever become a cop but anyway, that's a tangent.
No idea.
But like, yeah, Jim Gordon's the only good cop.
I've just got a bunch of contacts popping up in my way. All right.
But like the Carl Urban showing there's bad judges makes like Judge Dredd as the good cop.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, and my politics have definitely changed since the first time I've seen that movie.
I'm curious about it.
A lot of things have happened since.
A few things.
I've seen a lot of videos of cops fucking with people. So
Yeah, just totally power tripping. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really is that's the good cop, bad cop narrative.
Yeah.
Or the bad apple.
The
Right?
bad apple that ruins the
Yeah.
bunches. Yeah. And I mean, shit, that even showed up in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Like
Oh yeah.
you've got young cop versus you know,
Old
Varney cop,
asshole cop.
the asshole cop, who's
Yeah.
basically just hassling college kids.
Yeah.
But at the
Just
same
power tripping. Yeah.
but at the same time, you know, cute young by the book cop is also being creepy to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's I don't know if the writers of that movie were doing that intentionally or what.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Noise cannon. Wonderful. But like the most recent like Batman movie, I really like the Batman. And
Yeah, I was very pleased with how it ended.
yes.
That
And
whole, yeah. Yeah, he has to do more than just brutalize criminals.
yes. And I really like the realization of him like, oh God, I'm attracting monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters like me. And I think that, you know, having your Batman movie where Batman actually has character growth, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I like when my funny books get elevated to, you know, I don't know, art and have complicated ideas in them, not just,
Yeah.
you know, I want Batman to punch the Joker.
More punching.
There's a scene with talking, no punching. That's why this is dumb.
Just pretentious.
Yes. Why are you being
much talking,
why are
it's
you being
pretentious.
tentious? I don't know why I just went into like Harry Plinkett. Just
Yeah. Oh, I knew that asshole would get up.
did he get up? That
He
motherfucker.
did. As soon as I walked away, thought his skull was safe. False. Yeah, I give that movie a lot of points. It was too damn long, but that's
Yeah.
because I'm old and I
Yeah. It
just
was
like the
like
movie's too long.
yeah.
Why is it not 90 minutes?
Yeah. But
I don't know how long I got to live.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss. But whatever, you know, I can't criticize someone for wanting to make more movie.
Yeah. A sonic bomb. Okay.
I'm gonna go punch it.
Fucker got up. Whoop. I got him. Or maybe no, I don't. Okay.
Buddy, I'm attacking a sonic bomb. Oh, I half thought it would explode.
I do have like I have a serious topic that I'd like to bring up, because it is something that worries me, and I realize that you probably got to go soon.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Oh God, where do this also kind of goes into my hatred of NPR. Okay, are we gonna get in a war? Like an actual war? Is that gonna be the October surprise?
Oh, I mean,
And I'm specifically
I don't know.
talking about the issue about like sometimes pagers just explode.
apparently, I see far too few people concerned about the idea that a state can just put a bomb in an electronic device. I feel like that's something that we weren't supposed to know.
Yeah.
I feel like they let the cat out of the bag on that one.
There's a section. I don't know if you ever watch YouTube on Roku, but like after the first round of exploding pagers. Also, if the stream ends, it's the CIA and Israel taking down the stream. No, it's actually it's because
Exploded mysteriously.
because there's a bomb in my internet. No, it's raining like a motherfucker here, and I feel like thunder and lightning might cause my internet to go out.
They like to do that.
Yeah, it happens. But like in my YouTube Roku feed, like they'll have like on the homepage like news and stuff, and every single like video described the exploding pagers in the same way and it was like in this very passive voice. Well, sometimes pagers just blow up. Like it was there was no mention of like who was causing the pagers to blow up.
No, like officer involved shooting kind of language.
Without the officer.
Yeah.
It was just kind of
Pagers
like
exploded.
Pagers exploded, and it was very. It makes me sad that you can have like I don't know like assholes on CNN like talking about like I don't know the most moral army, the most moral state ever to like just I don't know plant bombs on pagers and then have them buzz so people will like go and pick them up and then explode them like 5 seconds later, regardless of who actually was holding them.
And again, it's part of that public-private partnership.
Yeah.
Because that was done by the company.
Yeah. Well, they were. I don't know the actual specifics, but it's in the supply chain, they were intercepted. So, but at the same time, you're probably very right in somewhere in that supply chain, someone knows something.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to hurt made in America. I mean, don't buy American, or something manufactured in Israel or an allied country, because there might be just a little bit of explosives in there.
You know who's going to make the point that their explosives don't contain bombs?
China. Made in China, it doesn't explode.
Doesn't explode.
Like, I want Wolf Blitzer to ask that question. But I'm just a hick from Kentucky, dressed as a goblin. What do I know?
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those, so this is the thing that governments can do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
No one else thinks that seems like a problem.
Because exploding pagers, that's a fucking, like, Bond villain Doctor Doom shit. That's...
Yeah. It's like something Batman would have to race across the city to stop.
Yeah, like, the Joker has rigged all the pagers to explode.
To full of Smilex gas.
The pagers are going to release Smilex gas. You're right.
Yeah. And, being framed as kind of some kind of great humanitarian thing.
Or like, Israel's being badass again.
Yeah. Instead of being kind of a grim view of our dystopian future.
I got to get my criticism of the state of Israel in before the Twitch terms of service change and they conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Which, honestly could happen at any point in time, particularly if any kind of like, I don't know. Like, there's some bullshit going through the Senate right now. I'm not sure. Yeah, well, you're both on a watch list now. Thanks, good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Lead. I gotta lead this person. Oh, we gotta get the lady out.
As long really happy about it.
Yeah. Oh God, Hassan. Like, if Israel blows up Hassan Piker, then all is lost. I find it really disturbing that that I know as much about like the war in Gaza because of like a Twitch streamer. Like no joke. Between the Majority Report, Hassan, and like the Chapo boys, like
So the so-called Fourth Estate fails us.
Yes. So I always feel like I need to preface this with like, I am going to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm going to. But she apparently really doesn't want me to like voting for her. Because
she wants that begrudging vote.
like I want
that fine vote.
I'm voting for I'm voting against Donald Trump, not for Kamala Harris. Or I'll say I'm voting for Tim Walz. That's who I'm voting for. I like him better.
I mean, I can get behind that.
Can you walk that lady over there?
Come here, lady. Get away from the weird guy.
Get away from that maniac. We need more Doogie cops.
Alright, she's calling her agent. No, she's recommending me to her agent.
What is an agent?
I'm gonna quit this racket. Going to show business.
I'm gonna pop this rock. Oh, the rock slapped me back. One of the things, like, with having just two parties, and one of them is mildly in favor of, I don't know, democracy?
Democracy question mark?
Democracy-ish?
Democracy with an asterisk.
Yeah. Like, the Empire does not want its foreign policy to be subject to democratic rules.
Oh no.
And
They've built all kinds of structures to prevent that.
National security, excuses, various alphabet backdoor dealing monster people protecting democracy. But like, if you ask anybody on the street, if you're like, you know, hey, how do you feel about subsidizing the state of Israel to the point where they have, you know, free healthcare and free IVF, and you know they have something called the Iron Dome, all that kind of stuff, and you know, our subsidizing means that they can afford splurging on their war machine with exploding fucking pagers. Like if I just said Mr. Big, no, Dr. Big McLarge Huge, what? Am I having a stroke?
Oh, that's it's got to be a Mystery Science Theater reference. Yeah.
Okay, well I'm sorry. I have to stop this political tirade to have a stroke.
Does he need to go back here?
I get lead last star to safety. Yeah, he's got to go back over there to the yellow numbers. All right, take Dr. Big McLarge Huge. Okay. All right. Well, that's an Easter egg. That's fun. We like to have a good time here on stream. That's why we're talking about exploding pagers. But like, I feel like if I tried to explain the exploding pagers to my mom, she would be like, "You're just making this shit up." Or like, "Yeah, we're friends with a government and that beheaded a journalist who was like an American or like he had American residency," and it's like, yeah. Like, you're making this up. Because it's the kind of thing that, like, normally, you know, normal people would go to jail. Like, you gotta send Batman in. Like, somebody, you know, had somebody beheaded.
Yeah. Seems bad. Sounds bad.
That sounds really bad. That's bad optics.
So I'm jumping down here.
All right.
I'm gonna fly down there.
Okay. I'm invisible. They can't see me.
All right. I'm gonna chop them up.
Okay. Do some coleslaw.
Oh, I'm sleeping.
You eepy?
Yeah.
Mr. Big Archon Skulls, he's eepy.
I need to take a nap.
Somebody needs a nappy time. if my mouse starts buzzing, I'm not gonna pick it up. Oh god, I make jokes because it helps the pain.
Doing here.
But like something else that irritated me, I'd like to know your take on this, because I think we have very similar takes on like guns. And I haven't seen the video of her answering this. I don't think. Actually, yeah, I think I did. I think the Majority Report covered it. But like the whole like Harris getting interviewed by Oprah, which I have a problem with that. That, you know.
Well, yeah.
Oprah, the one good billionaire.
Right.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. Fun fact, I asked my mom. I was like, because she hates politics, but I asked her, I was like, who would you want to see as president? And she said Oprah. Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say that if you asked them.
Yeah, and I don't, you know, hey, I think that shows a level of, like, the ignorance for, you know, people who don't like follow politics but whatever. But like the whole thing about if somebody comes in my house, I'm gonna shoot them. Like I can't remember her actual like wording on that, but like I might be a bleeding heart, like liberal or whatever, but I feel like that we shouldn't just shoot people. Like I don't know.
Some definite red meat thrown out, but I'm not quite sure for who.
You got time for one more?
Yeah, why not?
All right, one more.
Right here.
All right, right here. One more. Last mission of the stream. Then we'll call the stream. But is that another way of saying I respect the Second Amendment?
Yeah, I mean, I assume so. Like in the debate when she said that she owned a gun.
Yeah.
Right, and it's, you know.
Which I think she answered that better, but the like, you know, I'm gonna shoot a motherfucker who, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I also,
again, I don't know if that's trying to sound tough.
I think that that the first lady president, I feel like there is going to be some overcompensation to,
for sure.
You know,
yeah.
I ain't got a dick, but I will fuck you up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to get estrogen all over this empire.
Yeah. I am not weak.
Yeah.
Putin in the face.
Oh God. I'm not gonna cuddle up to motherfuckers like Kim Jong Un and Vladimir Putin, like that motherfucker over there. I'm gonna cozy up to Benjamin Netanyahu in MBS.
Yeah.
I think she's playing to centrist to not scare the Republicans who are not single issue gun voters, but close. Okay. Yeah, it is. I do think there is the calibrating the centrism. That I am not coming for your guns.
Yeah, trying to neutralize a talking point.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean,
still has legs for some reason.
because Democrats have never successfully combated it. They always just say, I respect the Second Amendment. I respect the Second Amendment. Yeah. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, like the version of the Second Amendment that our current iteration of the Supreme Court has brought about is not what it says on the tin. I'm sorry.
I mean, I mostly consider it, again, one of those relics of slaveholding times.
I agree.
Because it was always intended for a particular type of person to be able to own a gun.
The cousin fucking kind?
That's to defend your right to have sex with your attractive cousins.
That's a callback.
That was an entire joke on The Simpsons about why Springfield and Shelbyville split apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Shelbyvillians wanted to preserve their right to have sex with their attractive cousins. So they went and started their own town. That may just be Springfieldian propaganda, though.
That's great. That was back when Simpsons were funny.
Although I haven't watched it in like 25 years.
Yeah, there's probably been at least 20 seasons since I've last actually watched it.
Oh yeah, there are more episodes of The Simpsons that I haven't seen than I have.
Oh God, that's
by a significant factor.
I feel like that just ensures that I'm never going to watch The Simpsons again.
Yeah.
But anyway, like...
The time I remember fondly, but it is in the past.
Yeah.
And there it shall remain. Unlike City of Heroes, which
it is
returned from the past.
Yes.
In true comic book fashion. It was not dead at all.
I do have a question on guns. Like, and I feel like even posing this question is like potentially like some like Twitch terms of service, but like what kind of event has to occur for actual gun control to occur?
Oh, nothing. It's completely off the table. It's and I decided that was the case after Sandy Hook.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, if this wouldn't do it, then absolutely nothing will. And it's done.
Okay. All right.
I was like, it's over. Gun control as a policy is over. Like, there is no event. If that wasn't it, there's nothing. Like, you can do anything.
I can't argue with that either. Like I feel like you have the easiest thing on the cork board. It's like not even cork board scrawling madness. It's just I don't know. I feel like Matthew McConaughey is just talking about like how time is a flat circle or something like that. Also, I'm trying to fucking find you.
Oh, I somehow ended up
in another zip code?
Apparently. I'm just following the trail of bodies that I created. But that's not the point.
Like, would it actually just be getting rid of the filibuster?
Yeah,
but there's no...
Yeah.
There's no, like, political will to get... Well, I'm sorry. There is political will, but do the Democrats have the political will to do something? Because they're too busy saying how they'll cap a motherfucker if they step up on them.
Yeah, I think there are enough Democrats that feel like it would make them politically vulnerable that they wouldn't go for it.
If enough dog-eating Haitians arm themselves, maybe to scare the right enough to do something. Well, old Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. Oh, my God. When the Black Panther comes armed, then we shall have gun control.
Yeah. But then they'll just find a way to target it.
Yeah, it'll be... Yeah.
Yeah, I think blanket gun control is never going to happen. And the only thing we'll get is that kind of, mealy mouth kind of, I don't know. The sort of thing that makes it so that all it really does is deprive certain people of their ability to defend themselves against other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
so targeted and so conditional that's all it would really accomplish.
A lot of stuff that I hear now, like after, like we haven't talked about this, but the I-75 shooter, or I've taken to call him the ghost of Daniel Boone Forrest. Which, oh my God, the hillbilly couple that found the corpse, that was great.
Yeah, oh my Lanta.
Because they just followed vultures.
Yeah.
That's great.
And there were I guess some state troopers out there looking. I don't know. But it was funny, they did find the body, and then the police immediately tried to take credit for it.
Oh my God, because...
we found it.
Fucking, oh God.
We found them. And it's nope, it was oh my Lanta lady.
Did she say "Oh my Lanta" or something?
Yeah, she said it I don't know 10 times. Oh my Lanta.
Oh God, I'm not familiar with that part of the story. Oh my God.
It's a very Kentucky video.
All right, I got to look that up.
There are people that I'm yep, I recognize them. I've never met them before, but I recognize them.
I know this type.
By God, I've seen them around.
Yeah, and there was some, right after this happened, to call back to some hatred of NPR, they had a little soundbite of Andy Bashir, and it wasn't really clear if he was talking about the shooting that happened at the Georgia school or the I-75 North shooting, but it's we need to have more restrictions on guns to make them safer, like locking mechanisms and stuff like that. And it's that's
yeah.
It's we need to have safer caps on our bleach. It's
and that's an example of what I'm talking about. Any legislation will be so kind of to avoid looking like gun control, or really do anything.
Basically, putting it on the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine if you want to hold those manufacturers accountable, and I don't know, fucking sue them out of existence. I mean, I'm fine with that, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
I got the Shady badge. Well, I'm putting that on. I'm Shady. What the fuck is the Shady badge?
Shady.
A trip back to Paragon City confirmed it. You are the shady type of person other people are right to be afraid of. Okay. All right.
Shady motherfucker.
I'm a shady motherfucker.
Maybe knock me down.
Find TV Dawn. Or where is TV Dawn?
Where is TV Dawn?
I mean, when are we going to get at the real cause of violence? Video games.
Well, this game is making me incredibly violent. I'm gonna go out and buy a giant sword. It's funny to me that it still comes up every now and then.
It
Video
does.
game violence.
It really does.
Even though it's been pretty roundly disproven. But periodically we have to go through it again. Because again, no one wants to deal with, the actual causes of the thing.
And
they want a boogeyman to blame.
And like, there's this talk of like violence. Like, I even feel like that no one wants to talk about that like shootings are like natural disasters. They're not a form of crime or terrorism. They're just a tornado touched down in Waller County today. They're acts of God. It's not like
they have no cause.
Yeah. And that like someone with a knife could do the same amount of damage. That they're not like, this gun has certain stats. Or, if you want to talk about fucking video games, like, the gamification of certain weapons with certain amounts of damage and certain ranges and so forth. It's like, a pump action shotgun ain't an Uzi or a sniper rifle or, an AK-47 or whatever. That like if you show up with a silencer, that says something about you. But the weapon, the gun that you have is like, I don't know. I think that says something about intent, or like, why you think you need it or wants it.
Yeah.
And these things are very cultural. Like, I'm watching this Netflix anime, Terminator Zero, and it's okay. It's set in Japan in the late 90s.
Huh.
And there's some interesting cultural differences specifically about guns that come up, where like the cops have like chains connecting their handguns to their belts, so they can't be disarmed and like their weapon can't be used on them. It's a safety issue. And I had never seen anything like that in the real world. I didn't know if anything that if that actually exists in the real world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, because I've never seen that here in these United States.
All right.
or like, that's not even on the table. Like, that's a level of safety that like somebody would laugh at you if you brought that up.
Yeah.
And also there was an interaction where I think the dude is, I see the dude.
No, must have flown right over him.
There's an interaction where a character is like, I need to find more weapons, and another character is like, you already have one gun, why would you want another? And I started laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my, like why would you need another one? But like, yeah.
Yeah, especially when most guns in certain classes are actually pretty similar to each other. Like, it's, yeah. Like, you've got one AR pattern rifle would you really need another one, right?
It appears lanyards are not uncommon for police oversight. Is that what it's called? Is that connection like a gun lanyard?
I guess. It makes sense.
Okay. Like,
Certain logic to it, and and of course, guns are expected to be something they use in very extreme situations,
yeah.
not just when they feel scared.
Yes. Yeah. That the system is saying, hey, come you. The system is like, hey, you are decreed to be a judge, jury, and executioner if need be, so to speak. Yeah. Anyway,
With great power comes great responsibility.
to shoot people in the face.
I
yes.
learned that somewhere. I don't know where. I could have come up with a crazy idea.
That person who gets shot and killed said it, I think. Uncle Ben should have been armed.
And none of this would have happened.
Exactly. Yeah. He should have shot the motherfucker that tried to get in his house. And now you know. But dun. And on that note, we're closing this fucker out.
Over. Shut it down.
All right. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks, Squid. Where's the button?
Thank you, Squid.
Yes. All right. Later, everybody.